Hey everyone, Brian here. I gotta say, I'm super excited for this event, but let's get the intros out of the way and then we'll dive in. If you're new to Directus, it's a headless CMS and backend that lets you build and manage any kind of data or content. You design your own data model or connect your existing SQL database. Directus will generate production-ready APIs for you, and you get a complete admin app to manage everything on top of that. So let's move on to the main course, right? This is what you're all here for. What is MCP? Why is it so freaking hyped? Let's talk about it. Model Context Protocol, or MCP, is basically just a way for your AI assistants like Claude or ChatGPT, or your IDE like Cursor or VS Code, to connect directly to your tools and data sources. Instead of copying and pasting between ChatGPT and your CMS, the AI, it can talk to Directus directly. And we've built MCP support right into Directus Core. You enable it in the AI settings, generate an access token for a new user or existing user, connect your favorite AI tools, and you're done. That's it. No middleware, no extra servers to manage, nothing to deploy. Sounds great, right? But what does this actually do, Bryant? Well, that's where it gets interesting, right? There are multiple different use cases depending on your role. So for content teams, you can import blog posts straight from Google Docs with proper field mapping and not having to waste an hour reformatting the copy. You can organize hundreds of images that are all named image underscore whatever. Add metadata to the entire asset library without clicking through each file individually, spending a ton of time. For developers, you can quickly prototype data models just by describing what you need. Hey AI, build me a CRM with organizations, contacts, and deals. It will go through and create the collections, set up the relationships for you, the whole thing. Or you can modify your schema on the fly. Hey AI, I need a reading time field for all my blog posts and calculate it for my existing articles. Set up an automation for that. Your AI tools work through the existing Directus permissions. So the beautiful thing about this is it can only do what you've allowed it to do. That keeps everything nice and secure, and everything shows up in your activity log. It's basically your normal Directus workflow, just faster. Which brings us to what we're showing today. In this showcase, we're going to walk through some real examples: content creation, data modeling, automation, the stuff that people are actually using this for in production. We're going to show you what works well, what to watch out for, and how to get the most out of combining Directus with AI. And you'll probably also hear a lot of rabbit puns. So with that, down the rabbit hole we go. All right, I'm here with Lindsay from our team, and in this segment, we're going to show you how to connect the Directus native MCP to your LLM or your AI tools of choice. Lindsay, do you want to walk us through the process?
Yeah, so the first step is enabling it. So you'll want to go to your Directus instance, go into Settings, and then navigate to the AI section. And here's where you'll set up your MCP server. So you'll just click Enable. If you want the prompts collection, you can turn it on here, or if you already have it, you can find it and tell us what it is. And then make sure you click that Save at the top. Decide if you want to allow deleting as well.
And what is our next step after we've enabled the MCP?
Yes, so now this is important. You'll want to set up a new user so that you can set up a clean token with the access permissions you need for your MCP. So we're going to give it administrator right now, but you might want it to give it slightly tighter permissions if you want to keep it from doing everything. We're going to do this because we're going to have it messing with the schema.
All right, so now we've got our token. We are ready to connect to our tools of choice. What are we going to start with first, Lindsay?
So let's do cursor. So that's one of our easiest ones. If you go to our docs, we actually have a one-click button to get you started there. So find the cursor section in our docs, scroll down and click a button. It's going to open up your cursor and you'll just fill in the settings here. So you'll want to put in your URL for your instance. And then this is where you'll grab that token that you created from your user.
All right. And I think we'll just hit install.
And there you go, you're good to go.
And we can see we are connected, and then we are ready to chat. Dun, 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 dun. And as you can see, the Directus MCP is connected to Cursor, and we are actually picking up the schema. All right, so that is how you connect the native MCP to Cursor. Super easy to get started. Make sure you check it out.
But what about marketers? They typically use ChatGPT 5 or something similar.
That's a great question, Lizzie. So let me show you just how easy it is to connect to ChatGPT. Again, once you've got that token, all you need to do is log into ChatGPT. In the bottom, you'll go to your specific settings. You'll look for apps and connectors. And you have to be in developer mode, which sounds scary. It's really just a beta feature that they have for protection and security. So once you activate developer mode, then you can go in and add your own MCP. They're called custom connectors. So we'll just add Directus. We'll give it our URL here. There we go. Simple CMS starter.directus.app/MCP. And then we're going to add a question mark access underscore token, and then you're going to paste that same access token that you have. We're going to choose no authentication, and then we just hit create. There we go. And now I should be able to chat. So we'll just ask it what our Directus schema looks like. It should pick up the available tools through the MCP, and it be able to understand my full schema inside Directus. Again, super simple to connect with ChatGPT, and happy MCPing.
If you have any feedback for us or any questions, head over to community.directus.io and let us know.
Hello, it's Rijk van Zanten, co-founder and CTO here at Directus. Very excited with this MCP launch. Very excited to see what you're going to integrate it with and what new use cases you might find. For this segment, I was asked to go in a little bit deeper on the philosophy of artificial intelligence here at Directus, how we treat it right now, how we're planning on using it now and in the future, and what it means for our end users. So over time, over the last months and years, we've seen a lot of different directions that AI can take, a lot of possibilities that were unlocked, some of them very exciting and real, some of them a little bit silver bullet magic. At the end of the day, for us, it's all about helping our users achieve their goals in the most efficient and easy to use way as possible. We're not here to just replace a bunch of tasks that a person might have to do. We're here to help you out get to your results faster. With that in mind, we're really treating this more as a collaboration tool rather than an automation tool. Christina will do a little segment on that later, so keep watching. We found that LLMs are pretty great at helping unblock users in tasks they're taking, but do want to make sure that we offer those LLM tools when and where they make sense. So for our very first deep dive here into AI, we started with MCP as the focus area. That allows our users to be unblocked when using third-party tools like Claude, ChatGPT, or Cursor, or any other tool that supports MCP, and allow them to use their content, their data within Directus from those tools directly. When it comes to AI use, we obviously have to make sure that we have some very strict control about what an LLM is allowed to read, what it is allowed to do with your data, and in general, this fits in neatly with Directus' permission system, because we, of course, through policies in our RBAC system, we have some very strict access control in place. The same applies for your MCP usage. In general, we're implementing AI here as a carefully considered approach with that real user value rather than gimmicky for the sake of it. I'm incredibly excited to see what you will integrate our MCP endpoint with. Please do let me know as well. As this technology progresses, we're seeing a lot more interesting use cases, things we might have never even thought of on how to use it. So please let us know all of your thoughts, feelings, concerns, cool experiments, and everything else on community.directus.io. And keep your eyes peeled because we have a lot more cool AI stuff coming in the near future.
All right, welcome back to an extra special episode of One App in 10 Minutes. I'm your host, Brian Gillespie for Directus. Today, I honestly, I hope I'm not going to get fired here, but we are going to be building a mystery app with our CTO here at Directus, Rijk van Zanten. And I call this mystery app, and I say, hey, I hope I don't get fired, in that I've invited Rijk to a call, but he has no idea he's going to be on the show. And I call it Mystery App because I have no idea what idea he's going to throw out there or if it's even possible. Previously, the show was called 100 Apps, 100 Hours. For this season or this spinoff here, it is one app in 10 minutes. The rules are we have 10 minutes to plan and build an app. No more, no less. In this case, we're going to be using what we do have at our disposal, which is Directus, Claude.ai, and Directus MCP connected. Welcome to One App 10 Minutes, Rijk.
One app, 10 minutes.
For the audience, we are recording live. Did you have any idea that you're going to be on this show today?
I had no clue. But here we are.
Amazing, amazing. All right, so I think you're already aware of 100 apps, 100 hours, one app, 10 minutes, shortened time frame, leveraging AI. I've got mystery app here with Rijk. The world wants to know, what app are we going to build today?
In 10 minutes?
In 10 minutes.
Oh, boy. Well, I could spend 10 minutes thinking about an app, but that's not what I want to do.
The most incredible cold open ever, ladies and gentlemen. You thought you were coming into an afternoon meeting. Amazing.
Oh, one of many. One of many. Oh, I'm woefully ill prepared for this. Okay, we have 10 minutes. Well, the time hasn't started yet, has it?
No. We got to decide the app. Then we got 10 minutes to plan and build the thing. Okay. Which is very ambitious in and of itself.
Yeah, I will say. Okay. 10 minutes, that makes it so much trickier. I was going to say, I was recently working, maybe we can do a part of that. I was going to say, I was recently working on sort of like a quizzing app.
A quizzing app, okay.
Nights and weekends for, getting, sending people a link, you can sign in, you can do a little quiz, and then we could check out the leaderboard. That is not a 10-minute endeavor, though, I'll tell you that.
Ooh.
But maybe it is. Let's see here. Okay.
No pressure.
None whatsoever.
To give you context, we've already done a lot of the former 100 apps, 100 hours. So Expensify clone, Airbnb, Netflix, already done all these things. Multi-site CMS, all the expected fruit is already picked off the tree.
You're not making it any easier. Wait, if this is if we're gonna be using AI to build this stuff, why don't we use AI to come up with what we're building in the first place?
All right. All right. All right. I've got
I've got 10 minutes.
Reich Van Zanten, our CTO, on an episode of One App, 10 minutes. What should we build? Bum, bum, bum. I'm curious to see if it calls the actual Directus MCP here, but I don't think so. Real-time dashboard builder. Oh, it knows you. You're a known quantity.
Clearly.
Schema visualizer, webhook, e-commerce, headless e-commerce, QR code, menu generator, team mood tracker, meeting room optimizer.
I think the QR menu one is actually not too bad of an idea, right? Because this is
Restaurant
a very much a
menu
restaurant
system?
thing where you're going in, you're sitting down at the table, you have to scan a little QR code, you pull up a menu on your phone. It's all very remote. Where does this menu come from? Where does it go? Could be something.
All right. Restaurant menu, QR
Welcome
code
to
generator
One App
thing.
10 minutes where I create a new startup on the fly.
Restaurant menu, QR code generator thingy. There we go. All right. We ready? We're starting the clock. What do we need out of this thing?
What do we need? Well, we need menus. We need things on the menu. So we need menu items. We need ideally some sort of like allergy information for every menu item. So that is like ingredients maybe, or like allergy information or components. Like sometimes on menus you see, the menu item and then individual parts of what's in it, right?
Yep.
So yesterday night, at least 4 times, what is in the Negroni? Just kidding. What else do we need? We're going to be generating a QR code for every menu, I guess, because we're rendering out each menu on a separate page. So that makes sense
for
then.
QR code?
We need a sort of category for the menu item. Like, is it an entree or is it an appetizer? Is it a dessert? And then on the menu itself, we probably need a similar thing for, is it a lunch menu or a dinner menu or some special event? This like a Christmas Day menu or something.
So what would that be?
I'm just already thinking. Yeah, type of menu. Yeah. Oh. Holiday special.
Holiday. All right. Now, I've already set the audience up for this, but what we've got already is I've got a blank Directus instance. We've got the Claude AI connected via the Directus MCP. And let's build the menu system. So I'm just going to dump this in here. Again, we're on the clock. So, we're just going to, oh gosh. Okay, that's not even formatted properly. Okay. Allergy category for the menu. Flow for generating QR code. All right. This is the magic moment. Can you one-shot a brand new startup in 7 minutes and 55 seconds? We'll see.
Well, in no context either. I mean, you're giving it nothing. You're truly giving it nothing.
Absolutely nothing, right? So the Directus MCP, we've got a bunch of tools that are pre-programmed into this thing, and you'll see like the system prompt here, which is basically just some information about how the assistant should act. Then we have a tool that allows it to introspect the Directus schema, or not even introspect, just see the Directus schema. And here it's already gone to work. So I'm just going to hit refresh over here on the left. And by the power of AI combined, we now have some stuff. So we can start creating a new menu. This is Reich's special lunch menu. And is this something that we would expect to see? I mean, how would you grade this? So we got the type of lunch. That's pretty solid. Is this active? There's the QR code for the menu. Uh-oh. Doesn't like that, does it?
Is it still Mick Create? Yeah.
It is still adding our relationships. So maybe that's where
I would give it a second until it's done, frankly.
trying to get ahead of ourselves.
Because
What
we
are
only
at
have
on
so
the
many
clock?
seconds, but
There we go. All right. So one thing that I really like about this is just seeing like the
oh,
volume
here it
of
goes.
work that I would have to do myself. Now, it's not that much work to spin up a back end with Directus, and the visual like drag and drop the data model part of it is beautiful. But when you're watching a machine do all of this work for you, man, that's it's even better.
Hey man, what can I say? What is better than doing work is just not doing work,
Not
right?
doing any work. All right, so we're gonna call this like special lunch menu. Now let's see if this actually works this time around. There we go. All right, so we've got a menu. Looks like it's already added some menu items. How do you
You're
feel
not going to
about?
be seeing eating jumbo shrimp for lunch or Atlantic salmon for that matter.
All right, we've got our ingredients. Looks like we've got an allergens. Okay, we got a preset there. And then we got our categories for appetizers, mains, desserts, beverages. What is this thing doing?
It's
Okay.
looking like I think it's building the front end for it now too.
Wow, it's actually building the front end. I didn't even ask that, but let's check on
Here
the,
we
the
are.
flow progress, right? We've got 5 minutes left, which is actually I'm surprised we're even here at this point. But
I'll say stop the clock because I'm seeing a menu on the screen right now.
right. Is it actually calling Directus too? Oh no, of course.
No,
Okay. It,
okay, yeah.
it's
I was
just
gonna say
done
that'd
that.
be
Okay.
too good to be true. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's
Well, that's
toggle.
easy enough to do though. That's just one SDK call and you're in business.
Yeah. So let's toggle this and see. Generate QR code for the menu. Okay. So we've generated the QR code. Looks like it might have missed a few steps. We generated QR code. Is this even valid? What is the QR server?
I don't think I've ever seen this. Is that a thing? Is
QR
that just
server?
dummy? I think that's just a dummy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. QR code API. Can we get something really quickly?
Yeah, alternatively, we could. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Hey, we're just gonna straight up vibe code. Gotta go back. Gotta go back. Gotta go back. Fix the flow to import the generated
Boy, stop making typos, Brian. We're on the clock. Come on.
QR code. The generated QR code. Here's a service. What's the endpoint? What's the endpoint?
I can find it. I'm sure I can do it.
Da da da. This is so much more fun with a partner.
Brian, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on.
Files.
Come on.
Import. Files import.
If we
All
use
right.
an import file operation, is that a thing? Does that even exist?
We do not have that.
Oh, we should. Could we build that in 10 minutes? I think we could.
Import file URL. Import. Oh, it's still building. Okay, it's reconnecting. All right, so it's doing some type of work on our behalf here. Da da da. QR code. Oh no. Dun dun dun. 2 minutes still. All right. What do we got here? Okay, it's still not generating the QR code. Dun dun dun. Okay. Well, I think one thing we can agree on here.
I mean, a QR code you can easily generate on the client side. There's a bunch of libraries for that kind of stuff. So that's the least of my concerns, frankly.
Least of the concerns. All right, what other concerns do we have here?
Well, let's just quickly check out the data model, right? Because we have menus, we have items, we have ingredients, we have the allergens and the ingredients. So all of this is coming together really, really nicely.
Shall we look at the API calls? Because obviously you're gonna render this on the front end.
Yeah. Did you give it a public access or something already?
I've just logged in, so we can make this. Let's just, yeah, maybe showcase that really quickly. All right, I can make all this publicly accessible just by going to our access policies and adding all these collections. I need faster fingers. There we go. All right, we go back. Items, menus, fields. There we go. We've got our lunch menu. Oh, I forgot to add the items to the menu. Can we do this? Where's the menu? Menu. Reich special lunch menu. Add our existing items. Where are we at? 25 seconds.
Hit save.
Items, menus, fields. Okay, I don't see the menu items. We need menu items. Dot asterisk. Oh,
There we go.
it's a junction table. Items.
Double star it.
Double star. Double star. No. Well, that's it. That's the 10 minutes. We have built a menu generating app thingy. 10 minutes or less. How do we feel about this?
It's pretty cool. I will say. My favorite is the icons and the colors for the collections.
So that again,
nice
like this is all AI. There's a lot of hype out there, but one thing that I appreciate about the MCP that we built here is there's real value to this, in my opinion, of how quick can you prototype, how fast can you iterate on this. In 10 minutes or less, completely fresh, no idea. There it is. Restaurant menu app down. Right, anything you'd like to add as we close this episode, this chaotic episode? If you didn't need enough drama in one app in 10 minutes, bringing in somebody totally unexpectedly. Well, Reich, thank you for joining me for this.
You're welcome.
Again, I think this is a lot of fun, but again, it just goes to show how far and how fast you can get when you combine Directus and AI. That's it, folks. Make sure you stay tuned for more episodes of One App, 10 Minutes.
My name is Wayne Eldridge. I run a company called Anamic here in sunny Cape Town, South Africa. We build everything from mobile apps to custom business internal facing apps, primarily in Directus. And that's how we discovered Directus as a backend. When the Directus MCP server got announced, we were very excited. We've done a whole internal shift from programming line by line to obviously tab completions to agentic coding and agentic software development with the human in the loop. So everything's still verified by a human, but we have a whole system of feedback loops, error logging, everything like that. So when the Directus MCP server arrived, we were in the process of porting our website from Webflow to Next.js. Webflow did have its own built-in CMS. However, we needed the customization of Directus, and we were very familiar with the product. So when the Directus MCP server was announced, we saw a great opportunity to port all of our blogs and content from the Webflow CMS into Directus, specifically using autonomous agents. Typically, what we would do is self-host Directus. However, you can use Directus Cloud to initiate this as a general blog post engine itself. We used Next.js in the front end and obviously Directus in the back end. We would use Cursor and Sonnet for whatever model that you wish to select in Cursor to take the content from Webflow via the Webflow MCP server, use Cursor and Sonnet to connect to the Directus MCP server, choose an updated Directus blog post, and associate that content to that blog post category. We then discovered that whilst we ported several of our blogs, we still had a whole bunch of links of interesting tech articles that we stored in Notion. And we thought to ourselves, we could share these links and specific content extremely quickly with the Directus MCP server. We dropped in 1 or 2 links into Cursor, asked the agent in Cursor to write a blog post about it and send it to the MCP server, associating the blog post category to the content of the article. This happened very quickly and very seamlessly between the Directus MCP server, our agent, and the links sitting locally on our machine. We then decided to port all our links of interesting tech that we store internally at Dynamic and put them on the websites under our resource hub. We can also receive articles written by our copywriters, put them within our code base, and ask the Directus MCP server to post the content onto our website, and along with that, update the website, which is written in Next.js, with any SEO requirements that has been picked up by the content of the article itself, all without leaving Cursor, linked to a Directus MCP, and Directus either sitting on a self-hosted instance or, if you wish, in the Directus cloud.
Hi, I'm Christina. I'm Director of Product Marketing at Directus, and I'm here to clear up one question. So what does collaborative CMS mean? The problem with CMSs has always been that any given product is geared either to developers who are building a CMS for their colleagues or their clients, or for people who are the non-technical end users of the CMS that the devs are building. So marketing tends to think mainly in campaigns, narratives, and speed to market. Engineering tends to think mainly in data structures, validation rules, and system integrity. So this isn't a skills gap between them, it's something else. The result is that developer-focused platforms give you power and flexibility, but they're opaque to non-technical users. User-friendly platforms make content editing accessible, but they constrain what the developers can build. Every time you build a CMS, you have to pick your poison and choose an architectural trade-off. What we're exploring, though, with our new MCP tool at Directus, and what we've implemented natively, is bridging that divide. Here's what it looks like. A developer can build and change collections through the natural language interface of the MCP so that they can ship faster. You can add and delete fields, insert data into your collections, build automations like flows, edit existing collections, and create multiple new collections while still configuring all the kinds of fields that are added, like making them non-nullable or adding conditions, setting up validation rules, and of course, creating relationships. Meanwhile, a marketer can describe what they need in their own language. They can use the MCP to completely change the brand tone of voice in pieces of writing, edit length, shorten content, generate SEO metadata, and alter slugs. Of course, they can update items and blog posts at scale, and, like you'd expect, they can create new content in bulk. So whichever user is tasked with doing something like importing the entire product catalog along with pricing tiers and regional variations, the AI understands this request and the underlying data schema creating properly structured entries with the right relationships and validation that developers have previously established. So this is the bridge between what developers and marketers traditionally do independently. The MCP allows either person to handle that middle work, and that speeds up both teams. And this is what we mean by collaborative CMS. The MCP becomes a natural language interface for people to do all kinds of work together, both technical and non-technical users working in the same system, speaking in their own language without needing to translate their needs into another context or language. And what we're seeing so far is development teams setting up robust data models once, marketing teams operating within those guardrails at their natural velocity. There's no tickets, no waiting, no translation errors, and it's an end to all the rework. So, could natural language interfaces remove communication friction between teams? We think so. We're seeing it happen with our MCP integration. Companies are already using it to change how their teams work together. We're excited for you to try it. Let us know what you think.
Today I would like to show you how to supercharge AI batch processing using Directus MCP with a self-learning note-taking workflow. Batch processing is really effective for situations where you need raw speed, but it kind of breaks down when you need to make creative decisions on individual items and on the batch as a whole. You can't really do that without a human element. AI models I found are great for those sorts of tasks, but they break down when you give them a whole bunch of data, and they also struggle with finding the right information to pull in to make those creative decisions. So the solution I found is to teach AI to take notes. By implementing a workflow that lets Directus MCP take notes directly on whatever it's working on, we gain the ability to do things like long-running task tracking, because the model can pick up where it left off and start fresh with a new context window. We also get things like self-improving database access. You take a note on all the different things that you ran into difficulty with and what you did to solve them and how it worked out. And it speeds up future runs because it can read that note and go, okay, so don't do this, and I'll be able to just continue with the task I was working on. And then by letting it take notes, we can consolidate a whole bunch of data that was stored in the database. Say, for example, you wanted to pull out all of the aliases for your articles that are related to rabbits, and you also want the ID for each one. Well, you can just dump that in a note and analyze it in future runs. So, in our case, Directus is the knowledge backbone. Every note is just a key value pair. I'll go ahead and show you the notes table here. It's a very simple setup. We have a key, which is just a string, and this is what the AI model uses to kind of categorize what the different notes are about. And we have a value, and that's just a big markdown field. It's a very simple setup, but it's surprisingly powerful. By using semantic keys and explicit instructions on how to record and review notes, we give the AI models a very quick and effective way to find the context they need. So, this database has a problem. We have a whole bunch of articles. We have 124 articles. And the titles don't really make any sense. Oh, the bodies are in Latin. I can't work with this. So I've created a prompt for Claude to read the article titles and come up with a concept proposal for each one. What could this article actually be about? So let's look at the system prompt here. You can see that there's two things that it's informing the AI model about. That there's an AI notes table in the rough structure of that table, and that it needs to read and record its database insights, especially how it solved problems it ran into, and just update that note on every run. This gives it the self-learning ability we were talking about earlier. It's able to figure out what it ran into last time and fix it on the next run. Now, back to the task. I've told the AI model it's a skilled content analyst and writer. We have a huge collection of articles, all the bodies are full of nonsense, all that. All right, so its job is to record the concepts that it comes up with in an article concepts note. It's not sure what to do with an article based on the title. Be creative, find a wacky concept. Then we have some very specific instructions. We say always read the template and template article concepts, this is a note, to determine how to structure your output. Always create a new article concepts note for each run. Always give it the exact name. Always process 30 articles. Always review the last note you created before starting to make sure you don't duplicate any work. This template lets us make sure that we get consistent output on every run. All right, let's go ahead and run this a few times and see what its output looks like. I'm going to turn on auto refresh, and then I'm going to go into Claude, add a prompt from Directus, and examine articles and propose concepts. If you want to know how to use this feature, go ahead and take a look at the Directus MCP documentation, and then we're just going to send it. Now, one of the fun things you can do with read and write access to Directus is if the model makes a mistake, you can ask it to update the prompt to fix its mistake in future runs. Article concepts. It has identified correctly that just about every article appears to be lorem ipsum gibberish and occasional test content. All right, so came up with a bunch of different articles on a bunch of different ideas. In a bit, we're going to use this to actually write all these different article concepts. But for now, I just want to keep going through the batch process to show you how it's able to pick up where it left off and continue. On this run, if you notice, it actually picked up that it needed to look up the translations and didn't have to figure that out from the schema this time. All right, it is a new day. My Claude usage limits have reset, and we are ready to continue with step 2, which is generating the articles based on the concepts that we've put together. All of the article concepts have now been saved in these concept notes. They take the article title, they try to figure out what on earth the article should be about and propose a concept. So now we have the next step of the process, which is to generate a actual article for each of the articles we generate concepts on in both English and German. And we're going to go in batches of 10 and see how well that works. We'll take this prompt and it should automatically read over all of our article concept notes and start filling in articles for those. Let's go. So we're going to use the turn concepts into full-fledged articles prompt. That's going to go and read through all of our article concept notes and start filling in those articles, and I'll show you those articles as it writes them. I have no idea if these articles are going to make any sense. This is going to be fun. I'm having fun reading through these articles. I have no idea how helpful any of this is, but it at least sounds very convincing. Now, the key advantage to this approach is that if we were generating concepts and writing articles at the same time, we'd have to use much smaller batches. But because we split the process into 2 steps, we've saved a ton of context window and we're able to work in larger batches. And as a bonus, we can do multiple things with those article summaries while we're working on generating those articles from those summaries. Now, this isn't the most efficient workflow for generating articles. There's way better workflows for that. We're just demonstrating this concept. But a nice thing about this approach is that you can perform multiple tasks at the same time. For example, while we were working on these articles, we could also be working on something completely different using the notes that we're generating the articles from. I have this prompt here, categorize article concepts, which will allow Claude to suggest an article taxonomy based on the summaries it's already generated. It'll just read all the article concept notes and create a new note suggesting that new taxonomy. I like the way it describes these articles as a fascinating collection of technical and business-focused article concepts with creative, jargon-filled titles that have been transformed into practical, valuable content ideas. I'm not quite sure I'd be so positive about it, but it gets the idea across. All right, let's take a look at the categories that it generated and the opportunities it identified. So here's some content gaps: AI and ethics, sustainable technology operations, human-centered digital transformation, all sorts of other different things. And here are some of the categories it's come up with. System architecture, it's put a bunch of different articles in that category. E-commerce, digital business, data management and analytics, user experience and interface design, business operations or business optimization management, automation and AI systems, project management and collaboration. So it's basically taken all of those articles that we put together and categorize them according to common themes in those articles. This could be really useful if you have an existing content collection that you're trying to build a new categorization system for. And what's great is you could just take this and create another prompt to actually apply that taxonomy to articles and create categories and all sorts of different things for that in Directus. So by the end of this run, here's what the AI model has built. Concept proposals for every article in our database, full body content for many of those articles in English and German, a whole new content categorization system for the articles it wrote, progress log so that it doesn't lose its place, and database access hints that documents how the challenges were solved so that on future runs it could do even better. Instead of treating AI like a disposable worker, or one that can infinitely stuff and work on something until it gets all confused, we're treating it like a teammate that tracks and follows up on what it's done across multiple days, multiple runs, starting with a clean slate on each task and only pulling in the information that it needs. We turned a human-in-the-loop batch processing task into an AI creative workflow by splitting it into discrete steps and letting it kind of pick up where it left off. We gave the model a way to track progress, We built templates to make the results more consistent and reusable, and we recorded information about the database to help the AI model get smarter over time. I've had a ton of fun nailing down this workflow and testing it on all sorts of tasks. For my work, we're actually using it to do things similar to this, where we're analyzing a huge amount of content and trying to figure out how to organize and categorize and do all sorts of things. And it's doing really well. The ability to take notes, record what it's done, and just kind of start over and create its own context has been incredibly helpful with turning a workflow that works really well for 1 or 2 articles into something that works well across thousands. So thank you for your time. I really look forward to seeing what everyone does with Directus and Directus MCP going forward, especially as Directus MCP evolves, AI models get more capable, and just the overall core gets stronger. The future is going to be fun.
A few examples of what you can do with the Directus MCP. Now is your chance to actually build something with it. And we're going to make it worth your while. So I'm here with the official announcement. We are running a Directus MCP Hackathon for the next few weeks. And man, it's going to be loads of fun. There are 2 challenges, and yes, you can enter both. Challenge number 1 is to build a cool Directus project using our native MCP. It's completely open-ended. No rules, no limits. You can build a tool that solves a real problem or build something freaking wild. To enter, just provide a short overview and a quick 5-minute demo video showing us and the community how awesome it is. Challenge number 2 is to create a community template. You'll build a ready-to-go Directus starter that other developers can fire up right away. Think an AI-powered blog or maybe a smart product catalog. Something that is helpful for the community and showcases what's possible when you build with the Directus MCP. All you need is a public GitHub repo with the template included. And look, don't worry, we've got some tooling and a sample repo to make this process easy peasy for you. Winners in each challenge will get a cool $1,000 USD. And even cooler than that is that every team member gets an 8-bit DOE retro mechanical keyboard. Yes, those are the ones that look like the old Nintendo. And yes, I will be jealous of you. Winners also get some sweet Directus swag. So get yourself registered at directus.io/hackathons. Registering also gets you into our mentor hours sessions, where you can ask questions and get help from other members of the core team and myself. Again, check out the official rules and submission details at directus.io/hackathons. If you've been looking for an excuse to build something with AI and Directus, now's the time. I'm super excited to see what you build. All right, welcome back to another episode of One App in 10 Minutes. This is a extra special season or a extra special show. Normally this is 100 apps, 100 hours. Today we're doing everything in 10 minutes. That comes with a lot of hype and a lot of pressure. This extra special episode, we've got Mystery App with Ben. So Mystery App on 2 levels. 1, Ben, our CEO, had no idea he was being pulled into this. And 2, I've got no idea what he wants to build. But we're going to see if we could do it in 10 minutes. Ben, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brian. I'm very excited to mysteriously be here.
Yes. All right. So the name of the game today, 10 minutes to plan and build, no more, no less. You might want to be thinking about what app we're going to be building now. I'm going to tell everybody else how we're making this possible. So I've got a blank instance of Directus set up. I've also got our Directus MCP server connected to Claude AI. And that is the secret sauce that we're going to be using today to try and go much faster. So, all right. What do you want to build today, Ben?
My first thought is like a content like a TikTok.
TikTok.
It's just like an easy. Look at that.
TikTok clone.
TikTok clone.
With
Clone
the Directus CEO. All right. 10 minutes on the clock. All right. Next up, you know how this goes. I know you've seen the show. We're going to start the clock. We're going to talk about what functionality we need, and then we're going to go. All right. Clock is running. All right, Ben. What do we need out of a TikTok clone?
Oof. We need a feed, like a FYP, like a little just getting through the content, getting through the videos. Need to be able to interact with those. So I guess give it a thumbs up. So like a favorites toggle.
Maybe like a likes.
And then comments. I don't know what else is.
Comments and probably like a post, right? I
guess the content itself is like a video, the author. So I guess they should all be attached relationally to an author. And then a description, a timestamp, posted timestamp.
Okay. All right. Let's give this a shot, right? We're going to just copy paste this. We're going to go to our trusty AI. Excited to be able to maybe separate fact and hype here. So let's build a TikTok clone inside Directus. We want the following functionality. Personalized feeds, posts with likes and comments, and let's just use the Directus users collection. Yeah. Let's use. I was absolutely driving Reich crazy on another episode with typos, so let's use.
Is it apostrophe missing a typo?
Yeah, there we go. Let's use Directus users as the users collection and reuse off there. All right, we're gonna hit go, and we're gonna see what happens.
I can vouch for the fact that I had no clue what this was gonna be, so you definitely didn't. So there's no.
Uh-oh. Oh no! Is this a? Oh boy! All right, we're just gonna add to the difficulty level here. It looks like I wasn't originally connected to the MCP, so we'll just refresh and go again. How we doing on time? 7 minutes 47 seconds. All right.
We burned through a lot on that.
No pressure, right? If 1 hour wasn't enough drama for you, let's do it all in 10 minutes. So
my water bottle's empty. We're so ill prepared.
All right, so let's see. We've got the Directus Assistant system prompt here. It's fetching the schema. Obviously, this is a blank instance. And then it's looking for the Directus users collection. All right, so now we can see that the AI is trying to go in and create these collections inside Directus. And it looks like we've got posts, we've got likes, we've got comments, follows, hashtags for post discovery.
Relational
and
hashtags.
It looks like it's got a junction table for posts and hashtags. Cool. And I don't think you've had a ton of experience with the MCP yet, other than our the video updates. Only my content. So it approaches this very systematically in that it will go in and create the collections, and it looks like it has only created one collection at a time. So this is new behavior to me. Previously, it's done all the collections and then the relations, but we should be getting the same effect.
Sounds like a time excuse there, Bryant.
Yeah, absolutely. yeah. All right, so.
Oh wow.
So we've already got the likes. We can see the posts. Got a caption, a video file, a thumbnail, user ID. Does this line up with what you would expect out of this bin?
Yeah, I mean, my design brain is like thinking of like a little bit of form layout, but I'm impressed that it's doing like half and full width, and it's kind of doing a really good first pass.
Here's our awesome video, and I don't have any, so let's see.
That was my first concern, is you're not going to have any like MP4s at the ready.
We've got tons. Directus MCP assets. What do we got? Blog post workflow. We could test the TUS upload protocol at the same time.
So meta. Are you uploading an MCP video for the MCP video?
I was trying to. It looks like I'm getting some errors. So that's part of the fun of this. We just keep refreshing and seeing more content or more data model show up. So we got post. Let's try this again. I'm going to link this to my admin user. Here's our awesome video. And let's upload a video from device. See what it got. MCP assets. Do I have a video that is actually small enough? It looks like 30 megabytes is all I've got here.
It feels like that can work.
Except I'm getting issue.
Ooh.
No stress. All right. Let's just try an image for now. Oh, I've done something wrong with the images as well.
I think TikTok has images, doesn't it?
It does. It looks like something has gone wrong. It had reverse relationships. Okay, so now it's filling in the other relationships. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to allow us to do this without a file. But we could solve for that really quickly.
I'm Googling sample MP4 file. Like cityscapes and all that come to mind I've seen.
I think it is something that I've done here.
30 seconds, 1.5 megs.
1.5 megs schema. Looks like
add to proceed. Does this not know we are on a time crunch?
Okay, so I spotted the issue, and that's a good point to bring up, that this is really cool functionality to be able to prototype this quickly, but it's not a silver bullet. It looks like the MCP had tried to tag the wrong folder that did not exist inside the instance, and that's where the issue was coming from. So we could try this again. Here's our test post. Let's add admin user. Just going to...
I slacked your URL if you want to try doing it from URL.
Okay. All right. We'll try it from the URL. There we go. We've got the video file uploaded. We can set this to publish. We will save our post. And now that the MCP has done its thing, we got 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Infinite
to let's just create some test posts, some sample content for each collection. Cool. All right. In the meantime, Ben, what is great about Directus and how fast you can prototype like this?
I mean, this is insane. Like with all the things that we're encountering here. I mean, even just the boilerplate stuff of getting the prompt right, trying to find just a sample video file. Like I feel like you can just like mess around in the worst case scenario, just Command Z it and then start again, or at least get like a good 80% of the way there.
We got 1 minute and 36 seconds. I think one of the coolest things to showcase here is that we have a ready to go API, right? And not just like one API. We've got all the APIs for what we need on the back end of this thing.
I love that it's doing all the colors and iconography too. Like that to me it just takes so much time. Like, oh, okay, what like material symbol icon should I use for this or that? Like that plus the colors and all the form layout. Like that's a lot of
so
time.
Let's go in and create a like here. Here's our posts. Cool. Date created should be populated automatically. We got follows. We got comments. We can add a comment to the post. Test comment. All right. User ID. Commenting on my own
Gotta have a
post.
user. Who said test comment?
Well, there we go. All right. So 30 seconds left. I feel like, we didn't obviously do anything on the front end here, but now we've got these APIs with a little bit more time. We could probably slap together a front end and have something up and running in under an hour, which,
And
the namesake of the show is insane to me that you could do so much with Directus in an hour, but being able to get here in 10 minutes.
The entire backend, like the schema, we've got like everything sort of configured the right way. We've got the full API, REST, GraphQL.
That's it. 10 minutes is up. Well, Ben, Any kind of final words on Directus and AI before we wrap this episode up?
I mean, it's super exciting. Like, it's the confluence of two big things. Like, AI is this like variable, ephemeral, like crazy new emergent technology with all this potential, but it's kind of a little errant with all the craziness that can get thrown into the mix. And then you've got this like super stable, reliable, resilient backend platform with Directus. I think like at the intersection of those two things is as Jonathan would say, there's magic there. Yeah, no, this is awesome.
And with that, we will end this episode. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for more. All right, folks, that's it. The end. Kaput. On behalf of the entire team, I want to thank you for joining the Directus MCP Showcase. We're all super excited to be able to share all of this with you. And I want to give an extra special shout out to everyone who demoed here today and to our team who put the event together. Now, if you have questions, MCP or otherwise, I want you to hop over into our community. You can find it at community.directus.io. If you have feature requests, hop over to our roadmap. You can find it at roadmap.directus.io. That's it for this event. We'll see you on the next one.